Call the meeting to order of the County Board of Road Commissioners for our March 24th, 2026, 3 p.m. meeting. The first order of business is the public comment guidelines, Ms. Ryder.
This meeting is being provided under Act 267 of the Public Acts of 1976 as amended, or commonly referred to as the Open Meetings Act. During public comment, participants will have the opportunity to address the board at the beginning of the meeting and at the end of the meeting for non-agenda items. Public comments should be provided at the podium in order to ensure proper audio. Public comments, statements, or questions shall be limited to not more than 3 minutes for each person addressing the board. To provide public comment by Zoom, use the raise hand feature in the Zoom application. The host will ask you to unmute. For the telephone audio, use *9. Use *6 to toggle back and forth between mute and unmute. As you participate in the meeting, your microphone will be placed on mute. The chat feature shall only be used to address any technical issues for public participation.
Thank you. If you could rise if able for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The goal of the Board of County Road Commissioners of the County of Kalamazoo is using our expertise, energy, and funds to provide the safest and most convenient road system possible and to contribute to the economic development and high quality of life throughout the county. Our goal is to maintain a county road system that is safe and convenient for public travel and to manage the roadside environment with a view toward preservation. First item of the agenda is the approval of the agenda. A motion would be in order.
So moved, Thompson.
Is there support? Support. We have a motion by Commissioner Thompson with support to approve the agenda as presented. Is there any discussion on the agenda from the audience here in the building or online? Hearing none. Commissioner discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the agenda say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Next is the approval of the minutes of the March 10th board meeting. A motion would be in order.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Vice Chair Stayhauer with support to approve the minutes of the March 10th board meeting. Is there any corrections, additions, or deletions from the audience here in the building or online or amongst commissioners? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes as presented say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Next is approval of the payroll and vendor accounts. Payroll of $206,967.78 and vendor accounts of $532,839.03. A motion would be in order.
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
We have a motion by Commissioner Kennedy with support to approve the payroll and vendor accounts. Is there any discussion on the payroll and vendor accounts from the audience here in the building or online or amongst commissioners? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the payroll and vendor accounts say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Next is public comment on non-agenda items. This is an opportunity for the public to speak on non-agenda items. If you'd like to speak, there's 2 opportunities. There won't be another one later in the meeting. If you just give your name and address. Supervisor Smith from Brady Township.
I don't need to introduce myself. Yeah, Randy Smith, Brady Charter Township Supervisor. Usually I'm sitting on that side of the table. I'm used to being over here. I just wanted to take the time to say that, we were putting together a land agreement for a new fire station, and part of the boundary line adjustments, land division, things that were needed require road commission approval for field access and driveway things. Not being familiar with that myself, I reached out to Mark Warden, who is our contact on road work, and told him I was running up against a tight time crunch on purchase agreement about to expire in a couple of days, and I really needed some help. He said, don't worry about it. He was already familiar with the property. He got the forms. He filled them out for me, sent them off for my signature. They were filled out exactly what I needed. Got a hold of John Fitzsimmons and told him I'm sorry, but I kind of need this moved to the top of your list because I got 48 hours to close this deal. And the next morning I had all the approvals. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to say it's just outstanding customer service from the road commission. And I felt you guys should know about it. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. Is there any other public comments on non-agenda items? Anyone online? Hearing none, we'll move on. There will be another opportunity in the meeting for public comment. All right, first we'll get into new business. The first item of new business is item A, request approval of the preliminary plan for the Maple Hill Drive extension in Oshtemo Township. County Engineer Ryan Lucas.
Thank you, Chair. I am County Engineer Ryan Minkus. I do want to take a moment here before we get started to introduce some of the team that submitted this application to us is here in the audience as well. We have Jane Ghosh and Brian Persky from Discover Kalamazoo, Kurt Artema and Evan Mann from AVB, and Todd Hurley from Hurley and Stewart. Do want to note to the board that they also have a meeting today at 4 o'clock with the city of Kalamazoo. So if they leave right after our agenda item here, do not be offended. They have to head out and take care of some more business related to the project. The board will recall at the January 27th board meeting, Jane Ghosh, CEO of Discover Kalamazoo, gave an update on this project. Discover Kalamazoo is the county's tourism organization, and its job is to bring visitors to the area, which helps fund local amenities. Many visitors come for sports events, and Kalamazoo already has a strong facilities for hockey, figure skating, wrestling, soccer, and tennis, but lacks space to host basketball and volleyball tournaments. After working with the county to add a small fee to hotel stays, funds began to be collected towards building a new sports facility. The group here held several public meetings, including sessions with nearby residents to identify concerns, which kind of related around safety, traffic speeds, and how the roads were going to connect. This project wound up only needing one special approval from road commission staff, down from an original 2, thanks to the addition of a southern roundabout that also provides a safe pedestrian crossing. Because the site does not have sufficient parking, the project sought to allow on-street parking on part of Maple Hill Drive. As nearby properties develop over time, shared parking options are expected to eliminate the need for on-street parking. While the street parking would provide some traffic calming effects when it's in use, it will not be as effective as street features such as additional roundabouts at access points to the property further to the south. There is a traffic study that's underway to measure the full impacts the site will have on surrounding roads, and those results are not expected for another 4 weeks. Nor will they change the current design that we have before you today for Maple Hill Drive. However, should the study find any additional safety or traffic improvements are needed, those changes would be required before a final permit for construction would be issued. So we are here today to recommend the board approve the preliminary plan for Maple Hill Drive extension located in section 12 of Oshtemo Township.
A motion would be in order.
So moved.
Support. We have a motion by Commissioner Kennedy with support to approve item A, the approval of the preliminary plan for the Maple Hill Drive extension in Oshtemo Township. Is there any discussion amongst the audience here in the building about this proposal or item, or online, or amongst commissioners? Commissioner Davis.
I have a question. On Maple Hill Drive, is that going to be curbed throughout that section?
Yes.
Because I was curious about the on-street parking control, how that was going to be kept out of people's yards, and whether so that there'd be sufficient control to maintain that.
We did have conversations during design meetings about that because as Jane and Brian are familiar and toured other facilities around the Midwest, they did note, and several people have families and have kids that attend events that such like this event center would hold, and have noted that yes, if there's not curb or something to keep people on the street, they will park wherever they can. So there will be curb and gutter on this stretch of Maple Hill Drive to help alleviate some of that concern.
Thank you.
Vice Chair.
Will the on-street parking be the same side as the youth center?
Yes, it will. It is on the west side of the road. It's on the same side of the road as the non-motorized facility to allow people to not cross the street to access a non-motorized facility. We'll be able to walk back up to the youth center.
One other, this is intended someday to continue further north.
We've had conversations about that with Oshtemo Township, City of Kalamazoo, and us, the road commission, did see this area as a potential for further development. And having that additional connection point to somewhere else on the network would be desirable. So there have been conversations. While we did not review the road that's continuing onto the site right now, there have been conversations about what would be needed to be done to allow that to be added to the county road system in the future. So the development team is aware of that, what the engineering requirements might be as far as inspection and documentation to allow that to move forward in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from commissioners?
Maybe one.
Okay, go ahead, please, sure.
We're kind of used to developments occurring where they're part of a plat or project like that. Will this parallel that in terms of some of the documentation, inspection procedures? We can think of it in that context.
Yes, Commissioner Stayhauer, that is correct. While not required, we tend to try to have a uniform way in which we look at and document and inspect roads, and that all kind of follows the land division process where we say we want, like, this isn't required by statute, but this preliminary approval would be required as part of the Land Division Act and platting. So it's just been a practice here at the Road Commission to have the book approve preliminary roads. But yes, the same documentation would be done from our standpoint on a commercial road like this. We've had a few extensions of Beatrice in the past couple of years that have come before you for acceptance. Same level of documentation there. We hold those standards the same across the county.
Okay, I'm good. Okay. All right. Hearing no other. I'll go.
Follow-up
Commissioner
question.
Davis.
Is there sufficient space left on the right of way for non-motorized passage in the future or part of this? I don't know, it's not part of this program, but is there space left to put path there if we want to in the future?
I believe there would be space. You could modify what was shown as a proposed 6-foot facility right now on the west side.
Yeah.
There's not anything planned right now on the east side. There aren't any current plans for development over there too, and that might have an impact on what and where things go. There was some conversation about putting additional roundabouts between the two that are shown on the plan to provide access points to adjacent parcels, which would also allow other opportunities for pedestrians to cross on the road as well. So we kind of had some of those conversations with the team as we were looking at this road and how things were developing.
Right.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none. All in favor of approving item A, the request approval of the preliminary plan for the Maple Hill Drive extension in Oshtemo Township, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Next is item B, the request approval of bid 2026-04, the asphalt emulsion materials. Jacob and John, or one or the other?
Good afternoon, Jacob Cape, Project Superintendent. We request the board award the asphalt emulsion materials bid 2026-04 to Asphalt Materials Incorporated, Bitmap Products of Indiana for the purchase of various asphalt emulsions, low bidder, meeting specifications with an option to extend for 3 one-year extensions by mutual agreement of both parties.
All right, a motion would be in order.
So move Thompson.
Is there support?
Support.
We have a motion by Commissioner Thompson with support to approve item B, the approval of the bid 2026-04 for the asphalt and emulsion materials. Is there any questions or comments from the audience here in the building or online or commissioners? Commissioner Vice Chair.
It's in our packet, some information, but I think I'm reading, we're doing about 140 miles of primary
Yes.
road chip seal.
Yes.
So the audience hears, is that similar to last year or more?
It's a little bit less. It's on par about average of what we try and do.
Okay,
Yep.
thanks. And yeah, that's all. Any other questions or comments from the commissioners? Hearing none, all in favor of approving item B, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you, Jacob. Next, there'll be item C, request approval of the Kalamazoo County Office of the Drain Commissioner letter of support. Ryan again.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, last week the drain office reached out to us, letting us know they were going after some 2026 congressionally directed spending grant application that was out. For reference, this is for the Parker Drain in Oshtemo Township. Generally speaking, it kind of goes cross country, but the Parker Drain starts at about the TU Avenue and 30th Street intersection, kind of heads southwest and exits the township near the Avenue, just south of 36th Street, just south of the Avenue. There has been recurrent flooding on the drain that has disrupted transportation and impacted adjacent landowners. We, as staff, appreciate the efforts of the Drain Commissioner to pursue grant funding to assist with this important project in an underserved area of the county. Improvements to the Parker Drain will significantly reduce flooding impacts, improve the reliability of the county road system, and protect nearby properties while promoting the general health, safety, and welfare of local residents. We also have a planned improvement in this area. There's a culvert south of the avenue on 36th Street that we're looking to replace this year. So this would be a timely way to look at the holistic kind of improvements on the drain to provide a coordination and better benefits for the residents in the area. So we do recommend the board approve the letter of support from the chair's signature.
All right. Motion would be in order.
Moved by Stayhauer.
There's support.
Support Kennedy.
We have a motion by Vice Chair Stayhauer with support to approve item C, the approval of the Kalamazoo County Office of the Drain Commissioner letter of support. Is there any discussion amongst the audience here in the building or online or amongst commissioners? Hearing none, I'll just
No,
I'll just say I totally support this. I think we should always maintain a good working relationship with the drain office, and glad to see this. So, all in favor of approving item C, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Next is item D, the request approval of the City of Kalamazoo letter of support. Ryan.
Thank you. Michigan Department of Environmental, Great Lakes, and Energy, also known as EGLE, has state high water infrastructure grants, a program that's to provide infrastructure and planning grants that directly address the impacts, vulnerabilities presented by severe weather events, with a focus on projects that address flooding, coastline erosion, urban heat, and stormwater management. This year, they have approximately $800,000 to award. And each project is capped at $450,000 with a 20% match required. The city of Kalamazoo is proposing a citywide existing stormwater capacity analysis that represents a critical and forward-thinking investment in the resilience and sustainability of Kalamazoo's infrastructure. Understanding the current condition and capacity of the stormwater systems is essential to protect public safety and ensure reliable infrastructure performance, particularly as communities face increasingly frequent and intense weather events. This project will provide the data and insights necessary to identify system limitations, prioritize improvements, and reduce the risk of flooding and associated damages. It will also support economic development, maintain reliable transportation networks, and protect environmental quality in local waterways. So we recommend the board approve the letter of support for chair's signature.
Okay, motion would be in order.
So moved, Thompson.
Support. We have a motion by Commissioner Thompson with support to approve the approval of the City of Kalamazoo letter of support. Is there any discussion amongst the audience here in the building about this letter support, or online, or amongst commissioners? Vice Chair.
Curious, sounds like this is within the city of Kalamazoo. I didn't know if it extends out where it potentially impacts things that we as the road commission have.
It does not right now. I know there's some particular areas that they have issues with every time there's a heavy rain, so. I think the goal is to try to identify how they can help mitigate some of those areas. We have issues in areas. I don't think they happen as frequently as they do in downtown Kalamazoo.
And the extent of reading I do, which is, headlines more so, but some engineering publications, I've been reading, there's some groups advocating that stormwater curves change, recognize changing environment, larger rainfalls in effect. Is any of that coming into reality where it's affecting our own storm sewer designs, where curves are being updated or the modeling?
Sure. I don't remember the exact time frame, but I know within the past couple of years, Eagle had updated some of their rainfall curves that everybody is supposed to use. Okay. Additionally, they had released some correspondence that they're still considering requiring like a 20% above whatever those would show to kind of accommodate that resiliency in what we're seeing in some kind of peak events. That, as far as I'm aware right now, has not been passed or made a standard that you have to go the 20% over that. But yes, we are using updated curves from the past 4 or 5 years. And I think they're still, and Commissioner Sayar, from what I understood through some meetings I have where Eagle attends, they are still also considering further revisions to those curves, right? So maybe making the curve revisions happen more frequently than they have in the past.
Good. Commissioner.
Good. My question had to do with the city of Kalamazoo, so thank you for bringing that forward.
Any other discussion? As a city resident, I totally support this, and I know that a lot of the infrastructure in the city is older and it's been around a lot longer than our stuff, and so I totally support this, and we want good transportation for people to get through the city to get to the other side of the county. Okay, Mark,
If I may.
Sure, go
From
ahead.
my consulting engineer,
Yes.
one of our lead founders of the firm said there's always a bigger storm, so you got to have a plan bigger than the storm sewer. So anyway, just
no,
yes,
it's good words to live by. So, hearing no other discussion, all in favor of approving the City of Kalamazoo letter of support, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion carried. Next is item E, the request approval of the City of Portage letter of support. Ryan.
Thank you. Yes, the city of Portage also reached out to us here in the last week, seeking a letter of support for congressionally directed spending grant. The Lake Center District runs along Portage Road between Osterhout and East Center Avenue. It's located in a unique commercial corridor situated between West Lake and Austin Lake. This area this grant would help the city make this district more pedestrian friendly, encourage tourism and commercial activity, and reduce traffic hazards and enhance Lakeview Park. So we are recommending that the board approve the letter of support with the chair's signature.
A motion would be in order.
So move, Thompson.
Support. All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Thompson with support to approve the City of Portage letter of support. Is there any discussion amongst the audience here in the building or online or amongst commissioners? Vice Chair?
I'm glad to see these communities pursuing grants. I hope we have some opportunities too in the future. We've had several of our own, so just glad to support this and hopeful for good results.
Yep, I'll add that I think this has been in the works for quite a while. I think this is another reason why our roundabouts on TU are vital. I think that only going to add to growth in the county in that area, and so yes, I think this is a worthwhile adventure. So, any other discussion? All in favor of approving the City of Portage letter of support, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion carries. All right. Item F, request approval of the Alamo Township local road contract. Mark Morgan.
Good afternoon.
Good
Mark Warden, Public Relations Director. Yep, we have the last 6 local road contracts, the last items on the agenda. E is Alamo Township.
I'm
sorry. Yeah, get my glasses right. Alamo Township, and the unique thing about this contract is we are actually thankful to the county board. We had ARPA funds last year for reconstructing 8th Street. We had about $100,000 left over. So we went back to the county and asked for permission to use that money on projects this year, and they granted that request. So you will see a little bit of, not a little, quite a bit of grant money on the Alamo Township local road contract. So we recommend that the board approve the Alamo Township local road contract.
A motion would be in order.
Motion to approve the contract.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Davis with support to approve the Alamo Township local road contract. Is there any discussion amongst the audience here in the building or online or amongst commissioners? I'll just add thanks to the county and the ARPA funds that Alamo is allowed to use. Thank you very much for your help with that. Hearing no other discussion, all in favor of approving the Alamo Township local road contract, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. That'll take us to item G, approval of the Brady Township local road contract.
And I know the supervisor is actually here just to make sure that we get this one approved. And usually Brady Township is actually our first local road contract. So it's kind of out of the normal that this one would fall so late. But I know he was busy, as he was talking about a few other irons in the fire. So we recommend that the board approve the Brady Township local road contract. This has Eagle grant money, so they will be participating in some of the rubber chip seal this year. It's a carryover from last year that we unfortunately were not able to get our contractor on those projects within the construction season. So we're going to do it this year.
Very good. A motion would be in order.
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion with the vice chair with support to approve the Brady Township local road contract. Any discussion amongst the audience here or online or amongst commissioners? Vice chair.
I don't know if we've announced the dollar volume that's happening with these, but combined this in Brady Township, the local road contract will be $376,000. Just for perspective of audience.
$376,622.16. Yep. Thank you. And I want to thank Supervisor Smith. I know that you've been busy working on the police and fire and all that stuff, and because I know that the money that's not going into that will go to roads. I know that's something that you're very big on, so we want to be there for your support. So thank you. All right. Hearing no other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Next is item H, request approval of the Climax Township local road contract. Mark.
And on Climax's contract, we also have more of the Eagle Grant project. That's again a carryover from last year, and I'll just go ahead and give you the total contract amount for Climax Township this year is going to be $328,000. 88,000 of those dollars coming from our PAR fund program.
All right. A motion would be in order.
So
Support. Motion. We have a motion by Commissioner Kennedy with support to approve the Climax Township local road contract. Any discussion amongst the audience here or online or commissioners? Yes, Vice Chair.
Not specific to this township. We all hope the new road funds would arrive. Potentially, how much different in dollar volume might there be on a project like these in Climax Township had those arrived? Would it double it? Would it be 1.5 times that amount? Speculative. I'm not going to hold you to this.
Oh, well, I don't know that the board ever took action on how it was going to be divided up, so I'm going to keep it really broad. We threw out a number equal to PAR funds.
Okay.
So I would say it would double closely the PAR funds.
Okay. Thank you. Good perspective. Good for me here.
Any other questions or comments? Questions from the A discussion from the commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of approving item H, the Climax Township local road contract, say aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Next is item I, the approval of the Comstock Township local road contract. Mark.
Yeah, and I will point, this doesn't have any Eagle grant money, but what it does have is the township has been administering a millage, a township-wide millage for a number of years. One of our board members used to be there when it started, and it's been really successful. I think it's a compliment to the project team that they continue to maintain that level and actually push to increase the road funding year after year. So kudos to our team for doing an excellent job for the residents. And their total contribution this year is $1.2 million on this contract plus PAR funds. So that's one of the largest local road contracts we've ever seen.
Wow.
With the PAR funds of $290,000, that's just short of $1.5 million local road contract. So with that, we recommend that the board approve the local road contract for Comstock Township.
A motion would be in order. So moved.
Support.
We have a motion by Vice Chair Stay Howard with support to approve the Comstock Township local road contract almost 1.5 million. $1,489,996, and that's great, great figure. Any discussion amongst the audience here in the building, or online, or amongst commissioners? Great job, but I'll just add to that. All in favor of approving item I, the Comstock Township local road contract, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Next is item J, the approval of the Oshtemo Township local road contract. Mark.
And back to Eagle, we have a small Eagle project with Oshtemo Township. So we have a little bit of grant money there. Oshtemo also has a road millage contributing to this local road contract. And our team has been working a lot with Oshtemo Township because it's becoming quite a challenge finding the right place to go with our projects, our preventive maintenance with this sewer project, ongoing sewer project,
Right.
because of the size and scope of it, making sure we don't do projects that are going to be ripped up a few years later.
Correct.
So we're trying to do that long-term planning. So I give a lot of credit to our project team and to the engineering team at Oshtemo. With that, Chair, they have Oshtemo is contributing $400,000 this year, and our participation funds is $323,000. So the total contract's going to be $728,000. That we recommend the board approve the Oshtemo Township local road contract.
Motion would be in order.
So move Thompson. Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Thompson with support to approve the Oshtemo Township local road contract. Any discussion amongst the audience here in the building or online? I see a couple people from Oshtemo. Any comments? Hearing none. Commissioners, any comments? Yes, Vice Chair.
I've been at Oshtemo Township meetings on occasion, so they appreciate the partnership working towards this, and it is difficult. There's challenges coordinating all and the things they would desire to see happen, encourage to happen as soon as possible. And I'm looking forward to, there'll be a joint meeting with them. Our first meeting in April, they're coming over here. So that's good news. We'll get to interact with them first. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Any other comments, questions from the commissioners? Hearing none, all in favor of approving item J, the Oshtemo Township local road contract, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Finally, item K, the request approval of the Pavilion Township local road contract. Mark.
Yep, last but certainly not least, and we actually have two contracts here with Pavilion Township. One is for a bridge, the removal of a bridge. So we have to do design work a year before we actually do the removal and build some turnarounds. So we have a bridge that's been closed for, I'll look for our county engineer to fill in the blank. I'm thinking it's 3 years, or it's been 4 years, and we only have 5 years to get it out, or it'll be considered. So, okay, time flies when you're 6 really? Okay, 6 years that's been closed. So we recommend that the board approve the local road contract for the bridge design on TS Avenue. And I'll just give you both of them. And the other one has Eagle Grant funding of $65,000. The township will be contributing $221,000 to the local roads outside of the bridge, and our par funds of $122,000 bring the second local road contract to $408,000. So with that, we recommend the board approve both Pavilion Township local road contracts.
A motion would be in order.
So moved.
Support. We have a motion by Commissioner Kennedy with support to approve the Pavilion Township local road contracts. As Mark said, the first one is $408,453, and the second is $55,000 for the bridge work. So, any discussion amongst the audience here or online or commissioners? Commissioner Davis.
Hey, Mark, is that a section of TS between 29th and ES Avenue? Is that where that is? Which section of TS are we looking at?
Let me look. It's that road that goes down curves and it starts off 29th,
Goes down
becomes
towards
TS.
down towards Indian Lake.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. I think that's it. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Vice Chair.
My understanding is, as we've worked on these local road contracts, we've included future years, anticipated projects, and if one project hits a hurdle, can't go forward, we can move one from the future year to the current year, all of that. So that's a dynamic in all these contracts, right? That we've been working with our townships so they understand that.
Yes, our team has put together 5-year plans, and they have been attached to every one of the local road contracts this year. So if for some reason we save money on the first 4 or 5 projects and we have money left over, we can move right into that next project. Previously, we would have to go back to both boards to approve a new contract, which some townships only meet once a month, so that could take 2 months. And with our construction season, it doesn't leave a lot of time.
And Mark, just to clarify on that position of that bridge, that's crossing Portage Creek. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And, go ahead.
I'll just follow up with that, the future project 5-year plan. So the townships are allowed to help prioritize the projects in that capital improvement plan. And we're not single-handedly picking projects. They get an active voice in which projects have priority.
Absolutely. Some of these have been modified through the conversations with the townships. We come with the asset management approach, using the dollars as wisely as possible, understanding they have priorities, so we do move them around.
Great, thank you.
And just a reminder on the local bridge policy, that's a 50-50 split, correct?
Correct. Anything greater than 20 feet is a 50-50 split.
So we want to thank the township for coming up with the other half of that money. So money to match it. All right. Any further discussion? I think that's it. All in favor of approving the Pavilion Township local road contract, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Thank you, Mark. All right, this will take us to our second opportunity for public comment on non-agenda items. If anybody would like to speak to the road commission on non-agenda items, now is the last opportunity of this meeting. Seeing no one here in the building, anyone online wishing to address the road commission? Okay, seeing none, that will take us to, well, managing director's time, but the managing director is out of town, so we'll skip that report. And we'll get into commissioner's time. Commissioner Kennedy.
I have no report.
Commissioner Davis.
I have no report. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in Lansing in the next couple of days for the for their little convention, and I think that's going to be educational. Look forward to it.
Very good. Commissioner Thompson.
I met the Board of Public Works met earlier last week, and we had one item on there, and that was approval of some bond issue for Oshtemo Township, part of their sewer stuff. So that was approved, and that's all we had on there. Also, the road commission is going to be nice enough to let the Board of Public Works hold their meetings here for a little while because of the county building damage that's been done down there.
Yep.
Had a hard time finding a place. We actually met at the health department on Alcott last time, so Selena has that all set up for us.
Wonderful. Good.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Thompson. Yes, we're definitely available for things like that. And I'm glad to hear that the Board of Public Works will be using our facilities. Vice Chair Stayhauer.
Good afternoon. Yeah. I had a few meetings I went to last week, Ross Township Board, and it was nice to hear some thank yous. Of course, there's issues too behind thank yous, but they appreciated the work of our staff. One of the citizens spoke to me as well. I forwarded his comments to our managing director. Hopefully those pass on to some staff in an appropriate way. Wednesday, Chair and I were at the Township Supervisor meeting, and those are informative and helps us understand our county broader, well attended by Township Supervisors, many municipal elected officials and leaders as well. And I also was able to go, staff made a presentation at Rotary in Vicksburg on Friday. So Ryan Makus, County Engineer, Mark Warden, Communications, and Sarah. So well done, well received. That's a great opportunity to help to allow interaction with civic groups like that. And they also, there was a couple of persons there who had been road commissioners. Now I'm going to Anderson said say hello.
Rick Anderson.
Say hello, and
From St. Joe County Road Commission.
correct. Yeah, I'm not implying. And a lady, Dana, I'm forgetting her last name. I think she was actually on this board, more like Herb Larkin here. So good connections you make at events like that. I think we've hit everything. Yeah, we already mentioned Oshtemo joining us at our next meeting in April. We're looking forward to that as well. Yeah, they are looking forward to coming as well. So, thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I had a few opportunities to attend some meetings. I did attend the Texas Township meeting last night. Trustee Bowman asked me about Old Avenue. I told him I would follow up with him. I don't know if that's any time in the projects in the future, but he was concerned it's a gateway into the township and he wanted to make sure that road is tip-top shape. So I told him I would bring his concerns forward. I did go to Kalamazoo Township. The majority of their meeting was focused on their new building that they're building on Douglas, so that was good to hear about what's going on with that. Concern brought up there was Nazareth Road south of Gull, so I'll bring that, and that was from a resident. I'll bring that forward. I went to the Westwood Neighborhood Association meeting, and they were interested in this Safe Streets for All. I told them, I think they had us confused with the city's Safe Streets for All program, which I told them was more focused on pedestrians and bicycles. But I did explain our program and what we're doing, and so they seemed very interested in that. So I told them if they would like more details, that let us know, and we could get staff there to explain our Safe Streets for All program and more details. It did not seem like they wanted. They were happy with what they got. So I did get a call from concerns of somebody putting a gas station on Millam. I told them to attend the meeting today, but I don't think they attended. So we'll chalk that up for the next time. As the Vice Chair said, the Township Supervisors meeting was well attended, and really appreciate us hosting that. It's a great thing. And then I'll finish off with Oh, the other thing, I went to the South County Sewer and Water Authority meeting today. Very informative. Got to hear a lot of things, what's going on down there. So that was great. Did talk to a village of schoolcraft official and asking about our chip seal program. I said, yes, we do one and we are very proud of it. And if they had questions, to reach out to staff here and we'd be happy to explain what we do and how we do it. So hopefully they'll reach out some more with us. The last thing I'll talk about is the highway conference, which is going to start right after this meeting. We'll be heading to Lansing. It'll be a good time. Great opportunity to network with other road commissions around the state, hear what best practices are, what the issues are they dealing with, and how they fix their problems, deal with their problems too. So should be a good opportunity. And then the governor should be addressing us Thursday morning at breakfast. So we'll look forward to that as well. Vice Chair.
You were talking about rubber chip seal. Ross
No,
Township said,
regular chip seal, but
right, oh, okay, anyway, the rubberized.
Yep.
Ross Township pointed out tires have been delivered into their township, various places, people disposing of them, but they were hopeful that we would need those for our rubberized chip seal project. We're looking forward to that day. Mark Gordon will put him in charge of that. So.
indeed. All right. Hearing no other business, a motion to adjourn would be in order.
So moved.
Is there support? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion, meeting is adjourned. Thank you all, folks, and we'll see you in Lansing.